role in society. They're looking after someone's health, and health is everything. I think they should all have a degree of some sort.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. Even when I became certified for the first time, I mean, it could have been where I just went in for a national 2-day certification. When I got certified, actually, I don't even remember the certification course I've taken because that I took because I probably went on to get 50 certifications. I maintain a couple of them just to maintain them. It's always interesting with the continuing education I do, and you apply the CECs. But is it necessary? At me right now, it's not. But I have it. But I remember the first course I took. It was like a 7 or 8 month course. I was really impressed with it. It was like classroom, hands-on. And to this day, I've never really seen something that extensive. Everything's in 2 or 3 days. Most of it's continuing education. You need experience. When you're looking for a coach, you need to find someone who's done an internship program, a mentorship program. You'd like to find someone with a degree in exercise phys or exercise science. I think it's beneficial. It's not necessary. Some of the best coaches I know on the planet don't have that. But I think there's a lot of things that now would benefit them. And trainers now are they're like a lot of coaches that I know now are doing a hell of a lot better than a lot of these finance guys. Like I know,
exactly.
and they're like, we are in an industry now where we can be very successful, and where it was kind of looked at in the past, like, oh, you're a trainer, like, ha ha ha.
Yeah,
like, no,
I am a trainer.
Yeah. It's like, okay, like we're like these coaches now are doing very well, and that's fantastic. That makes me happy because I think now people are going to realize that we need to take this a little bit more seriously. This isn't a weekend job to make a little extra money while I'm trying to pursue my acting career. Yeah,
absolutely. And one of the things that I love most is you can go to your trainer and not just work on your health and your mindset. I always say that a lot. You're probably a mindset coach when you're talking to these people. You're doing everything as well.
Yeah.
But it's also time management, because sometimes for me, I don't want to have to go into the gym and think like I've got so much going on. I would just love to just work with someone qualified. Yeah, I'm just like, just tell me what to do.
You know what you're doing, but you want to show up and you want to surrender. I mean, I've done that in the past. Like Jordan Shallow, the muscle doc. Like Jordan's written me programs. I've done them. They've been very beneficial. He's amazing. One of the smarter guys in our industry. And I think there's a nice element to that when you're working with a coach where you can kind of go in, it's mindless. You don't have to think, maybe gets you out of your comfort zone a little bit. But yeah, I mean, that's the problem in the coaching world right now. I think a lot of these, I'm seeing it at a lot of the clubs. Corporate becomes very transactional. So I won't mention specific clubs' names, but these clubs are turning around, and you have the upper office, which are normally business people. They understand structure. Very, very seldom do you see like a trainer who ends up becoming like the CEO of Equinox. Like it doesn't always work out that way. But what you end up seeing is that they start making very business-like decisions, and then they start influencing the coaching to make business-like decisions, which I understand. I ran clubs for 15 years. I get the business end of it. I understand the importance of covering your overhead. But the lifeline of the club is the coach.
Repeat business, yeah.
Yeah, it is the coach. Like the coach is going to be in front of the clients more than anyone at that club, more than the GM, more than the CEO, more than the cleaning staff. The coach is the person who's establishing that relationship. And it's bizarre to me how these clubs are really devaluing the trainers, and the turnover is terrible. Like if you're going to go, like if someone asks me, what should I do? I want to become a coach. I'm like, great. Yes, go get a national certification. You should have that. Then you need to go work at a big box gym. Well, what should I be making?
What's a big box gym?
Like a Crunch, an Equinox, a New York Sport Club, like, whatever. Like I would find something with a decent training department where the head coach, the director of fitness is going to put you through a continuing education program. And then you need to take internship programs. You need to continue your education. I would take a hard style course. I would go take TPI, even if you're not a golf fitness instructor, but we're learning from a person like Greg Rose, learning from a Mike Boyle, who's the godfather of strength and conditioning. He's got a phenomenal certification, learning FMS, getting a functional movement screening. These are things that I think these coaches need. And I would spend some time at a big box club for a year or so, max. And at that point, go out and be entrepreneurial. Go work on a one-on-one facility.
And
go
just put
home to
all
home.
your heart into it.
Yeah, and then you got to start figuring out at that time what are those next steps. Unless you're one of these people who want to be in a gym working for 10 to 15 years, If you're one of these people and it makes you happy, God bless you. But that just wasn't me. I wanted to see what's that next step for me. How do I find that level of passion and purpose? How do I keep my, how do I stay intrigued and how do I be excited about what I do every day?
So I'm guessing that a lot of the people listening right now are probably wondering like what you actually do with a client. And you mentioned FMS, functional, what was it?
Functional movements, it's just a tool. It's FMS is a tool that was created by Lee Burton and Gray Cook.
Okay.
Years ago, it was a very simple screening that coaches could put their clients through, and I think it would indicate some red flags. So if at my club we put people through this screening, if I saw any red flags, I can then go to my team of medical, which we had at the time 3 PTs. Always on site.
So, for example, like a bench press, squat, deadlift.
Like a toe touch.
Oh wow!
Or like something
very
simple, like something simple, or like an overhead deep squat.
Okay.
Right, just with no weight, all body weight stuff, or a specific push-up test. If we saw the core break or something happen in there, or a rotary stability test. So we would look at these screens, and if there were red flags in there, or they scored like a 1 or less, like a 0, I would then bring my medical out. And I'd say, can you take a look? What do you want to do? And then they run them through an SFMA, which is another form of screening. And then at that point, we would really gain all this data. And then when building the program, we can make it very purposeful.
Yes.
Which is kind of ironic because when people call me and they're like, oh, we want so-and-so's program or Blake Lively's program. I'm like, okay, but that's Blake's program.
It's very individualized.
It's very individualized. Like I can give it to you, I can sell it, but you might need... there might be like Ryan Reynolds might be doing a reach back because he needs more thoracic rotation, and a female might be doing that where she has perfect thoracic rotation. So why is she going to do a reach back or an open book? Like she won't need it.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to focus more on grip strength or hanging from a pull-up bar to develop more stability, right? Rather than just flexibility. I always say flexibility plus stability equals mobility. So I think these screens would really give us and like you said, the actual written screening portion of it. What's your health history like?
Yeah.
What do you feel worked for you? What didn't work for you? And then when you gain all this information and you understand where are they trying to go, which is really something, especially working with Hollywood stars, every one of them would sit with me and they'd be like, this is what we need to create over the next 6 months or the next year. And I would see anything from, Dave Harbour sitting with me and pulling up an Olympic shot putter and saying, I need to look like that, to someone saying like, I need to look like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. I mean, or someone saying, I need to get fat for a role. I mean, there's all different types of very unusual focuses there. But I think the screening portion of it gives us that data. Then you could build the program around that. And then the program becomes purposeful. If you see that the person has no ability to externally rotate the shoulders or no thoracic extension, I probably don't want to go overhead with them, right? Like
interesting.
Maybe we do something on a high incline. Maybe we put them in, maybe we have them press off of a landmine, something that's still going to hit that delt, still going to hit that tricep, but not put them in a compromising position where we're going to cause more damage to the body. And that's training.